let's just get an update of what's happening in Cotonou, Republic of Benin, where the trial of Sunday Igboho was holding. Tokunbo Ituji, you're on ground there. Tokunbo, tell us what is happening in Cotonou.
Thank you very much, Rufai. Greetings to you guys in Lagos from Cotonou. We're at the Cour d'appel de Cotonou. Pardon my French, really. It translates to Court of Appeal, yes, or Palace of Justice here in Cotonou, where the extradition trial of Yoruba Nation agitator Mr. Sunday Igboho is expected to resume here today. Just behind me there, the court building. You have it there with many hundreds of supporters of Igboho are all out here. What we gathered so far, we've been here for almost 2 hours now, but what we have not seen him, but what we've gathered is that he's been brought in somehow, but we can't confirm that. Some of his supporters told us that they actually went to the police station where he's been detained to bring him out very, very early in the morning and took him around there, but nothing has happened. The proceedings have not commenced here. We have not seen Mr. Igboho, but according to reports that we are unable to confirm yet, is somewhere within the court premises. So arguments are going to resume when proceedings start, whether Mr. Igboho is going to be extradited to Nigeria or is going to be freed like his lawyers have been arguing, saying there is no case against him, that the court should free him. So here we are at the Palace of Justice. Whether Mr. Sunday will be just getting justice the way he desires is what we'll be observing here today, Rufai, and give you updates as they unfold.
Well, Tokunbo, what exactly is the main issue in the court? Because you just talked about extradition. And Sunday Igboho's lawyer had said that Nigeria had not made any request for extradition. Is the issue extradition or the possession, the illegal possession of, Benin Republic traveling document, that is passport? And then, of course, you say his supporters are there. Who are these supporters? Are they from Nigeria? Have you cited anybody there from Nigeria that is part of delegations that we have heard about?
Yes, Dr. Abati, we've seen several supporters, some of them from Nigeria that we can identify, but majority of them are based here in Cotonou, and not just in Cotonou. They're based all around towns and cities around there. Ajashe, there are several Yoruba people around here in this country, so they've all mobilized themselves. I was talking to one of a key figure of the Lana Omo Odua, the group that is actually championing the Yoruba nation, which Mr. Sunday Igboho spearheads. He was telling us about how they were busy mobilizing their supporters from all across Benin Republic to come into the court. But of course, if you listen to the interview granted by one of the lawyers, Mr. Salami, to Igboho, he actually frowned at the way the supporters have been conducting themselves around the court premises, and he urged them to actually stay away from here. But I'm not sure they have not heeded that call. They are here, but what we've gathered from them again today is that they are not going to. They are just going to be here quietly, silently, and observe proceedings. They are not going to be involved in any fanfare, any protest or anything. They are just going to be here, observing what is going on and what the outcome of the proceedings here will be. As regards the issue you raised earlier on, of course, the Nigerian government is pressing that Mr. Igboho be extradited to Nigeria based on those issues of illegal possession of arms and carrying out activities that could cause disunity of Nigeria. But the lawyers, like we listened to him in the interview he granted at the weekend, is saying that no, Igboho, arrested in Benin Republic Monday last week, has not committed any crime against the authorities here in Benin Republic, and he should be free. That's what they are hinging their argument on, that he has not committed any crime against the authorities here. But of course, we know that extradition is a matter between two states, and what Nigeria is exploring is to appeal, based on some kind of treaty, that has been on ground. I learned in 1984 there was a treaty signed by Nigeria, Benin Republic, and 2 other countries like that. So I think Nigeria is actually exploring, that opportunity to be able to appeal to the authorities here to extradite the man back to Nigeria so that he can answer to some of the issues they are raising against him back there. But the lawyers are saying no. What they are arguing is that Igboho has no case against the authorities in Benin Republic, and that the issue of possessing Benin Republic passport does not arise, that they did not see any passport belonging to Benin Republic on Mr. Igboho as at the time he was arrested. So those are the issues here that the lawyers will be arguing before the judge here at the Palace of Justice here in Cotonou. Dr. Abati.
All right, Tokunbo, what do we know about his wife? She was arrested. We hear she's been released. Do we know where she is? Is she also in court today? And it's so difficult not to make this comparison because here in Nigeria today, we are also following development at the Federal High Court in Abuja as Nnamdi Kanu, the embattled IPOB leader, is to be arraigned as well, where security operatives, the last time we touched base with our correspondent there, were arresting supporters of Nnamdi Kanu. And just look at what's happening behind you. What is security like? What is the mood like there?
Okay, Adesuwa, let me start with your last question. The mood here, we have many people around.
We seem to have lost connection with Tokunbo Etunji there. Unfortunately, we'll try to reconnect with him if we can and follow the proceedings from Cotonou, where Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, is also to be arraigned. Again, a reminder, we're following the developments from the nation's capital here in Abuja and in Cotonou. Okay, fantastic. So we have Tokunbo back. Tokunbo, can you respond to my questions now? I lost you for a bit there.
Yes, Adesuwa, I was telling you that, yes, everybody knows, everybody's aware, or majority of the people around here are aware that there is a high-profile case that is going to take place in the courtroom just behind me here. But if you just look around, unlike probably what the report we're getting from Abuja, here in Cotonou, you can't see any blockade. You can't even see uniformed policemen around. Of course, we know that plaincloth security operatives are all around monitoring proceedings and all that, but you can't see them, in your face. You can't see them intimidating. You can't see them stopping you from. People are moving about. You can see commercial motorcyclists and other people who are going about their normal businesses around there, going about their business. Nobody's stopping anybody, even though that high-profile case is going to resume here any moment from now. That is the situation. The situation is normal, despite the fact that that case is going to resume any moment from now. As regards the issue of Rocco, the wife of Mr. Igboho, yes, she was released by the court last Thursday, and I can report to you that I cited that this morning. Of course, she wasn't looking too happy, of course, which is quite understandable. Her husband is still in detention. She doesn't know what his fate is. She's right in the court premises, and I interacted with her. But like majority of the supporters of Mr. Igboho, she's optimistic that they will get justice their way this morning after proceedings here at the Court of Appeal.
Real quickly, Tokunbo, I want to know about the meeting that happened, between the kings, the Onishabe and the likes, and some other areas, of Benin Republic. I mean, because historically this spans through the old Dahomey and the likes, and this is an extension of the old Oyo Empire historically. So there's a massive population of Yoruba people there. I mean, what was the meeting like amongst the traditional chiefs and around the Yoruba areas in Benin Republic? Did you hear me?
Yes, Rufai.
Yeah.
Like it's just, yeah, I heard you. I heard you talking about the meeting of Yoruba traditional rulers in this part of the world. I mean, Dahomey, Isakete, all those Yoruba-speaking areas of Benin Republic. Yes, they met yesterday and they expressed support for the man who is on trial here today, Sunday Igboho, and his agitations. But actually, the details, a main point from the meeting is that they are going to actually write a letter expressing what they feel, their thoughts, and what they expect, of this whole process to the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. They did not say much beyond that because, according to them, they don't want to divulge much that could jeopardize the eventual outcome that they expect, from that communication with the presidency in Nigeria. That they are actually going to be make more details available to journalists after the letter has been forwarded to Abuja and an outcome is received. A response is received from Abuja. So they are going to be talking more to journalists and they're going to be revealing more. But what we can take away from that meeting yesterday is that they are expressing support for the man Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, as he goes through this, because as far as they believe, he has not committed any crime, that is only fighting the cause of his people. And according to them, it's not violent. And it should be listened to rather than being tried, according to them. And they actually promised that they will be in court this morning. I have not seen any, but maybe they are here, maybe not in their regalia, but I've not seen anyone that looks like a traditional ruler around here this morning since I've been here. Rufai.
I thought that what the monarchs in Benin Republic, the Yoruba monarchs who met at the palace of the Alajohun of Ajohun said yesterday was that they were going to direct their letter to President Patrice Talon, the president of Benin Republic, to see how he can intervene. But that aside, what's your assessment of the conduct of security men in front of the court there? Are they restricting media access, as we have heard in some other parts? Are they, asking the supporters not to get too close to the court premises? And is it possible for you to talk to one of the supporters that you said you cited this morning before the commencement of the court session?
Yes, Dr. Abati. The supporters, nobody is restricting anybody. Anybody can move into. We were in the court premises there, but we just have to come out here to show you what the situation looks like in the vicinity of the court. In the court, in fact, one of the reasons we moved out of the place is because the supporters themselves approached us and said what the instruction that they have been given is that they should not do anything like video recording, taking photos and all that, granting interviews and all that, that they just want to abide by that instruction, that after the proceedings here might have ended, that they could go into jubilation, they could go into their normal activities of taking photos, recording, filming, the environment and all that. But for now, that they just want to lie low and await the outcome of proceedings in the courtroom this morning. That may be tied back to what Mr. Salami, one of the lawyers to Mr. Igboho, the advice I was actually trying to give. Maybe that's their own response, to the legal opinion by Mr. Salami, one of the lawyers to Mr. Sunday Igboho.
Right. I'd like to say a very big thank you to you, and we'll keep checking out the proceedings, how things are going from there. But one thing is obvious, that these two events happening in Cotonou and in Abuja are definitely, a lot of people are watching, and there are a lot of interest, concerning these two events, and we'll see how it pans out over the course. And most importantly, something indicative is the way and the conduct in these two jurisdictions. Police not harassing people in one, people are free to move in and out, and people are abiding by laws. And we saw the case in Abuja. We saw how that happened, how that, unfolded. So we'll keep looking at all of this, but definitely, I think by midday, by noon, by lunchtime or dinner time, we will know more. We will know more. Maybe verdicts will be passed, maybe adjournments will be made and the likes, and both people have had their days in court. I mean, you have views on this before we go on to the guests.
It's the stark contrast for me, and that's why I was so inquisitive to ask Tokunbo about perhaps what the camera is not seeing, him being on ground has seen it. The last time we touched base with Abuja, like I said, our reporter on ground, our correspondent on ground, was being intimidated by the security operatives who told him to stop filming. Yeah. And we saw that on camera. And as they were doing that, we also saw arrest of supporters of Nnamdi Kanu being loaded onto the police van at the premises there. And there we have in Cotonou, well, some people will say these two instances may be different to a certain extent because the charges against Nnamdi Kanu are well spelled out by the government. On the other hand, the charges against Igboho are still very sketchy. Yeah. What exactly is he being charged for? They had said it was a fake passport. His lawyer spoke over the weekend and said he was not with any Benin passport. It was the Nigerian German passport. But you recall that the DSS had raided his house and retrieved some passports from him. And the Nigerian government also raised the flag to say Sunday Adeyemo, I think a week before his arrest, was trying to procure passports to leave the country and so put him on a stop flight list or a stop list to stop him from leaving the country. So the stark contrast for me is what is interesting and what I am really keen to see how it plays out. Lessons to be learned. Yes.
Well, let us see, how all of this plays out, because in both cases, what we're dealing with are developing stories.
Yes.
And it would be wrong for anybody to jump to any early conclusions. Apart from, Sunday Adeyemo's lawyers arguing that he has not committed any offense, they probably will also rely on the 1951 Refugee Convention and the 1967 Protocol, if it has to do with passport, because now we don't know exactly, what the issues are. But what is clear is that, look, Nigeria has a major interest in that matter going on in that neighboring country. Tokunbo Oyetunji was saying that, there is a 1984 extradition treaty with Republic of Benin. But I've also read reports saying that such an extradition treaty does not exist between the two countries. So we just watch, what the outcomes of the proceedings are, from Abuja and also from Cotonou. And everyone should just be careful not to engage in trial by media. And
definitely.
Yes, that's what is important.
And I think this should be the watchword, fingers crossed.